Hello, and welcome to another episode of the You Are Not Alone podcast. My name is Debbie Gold, and I'm here with my co-host and son, Greg, and we are so glad that you're here with us. Each week on this show, we will talk about informative issues that will make you think and help you grow. It is our wish that you will find hope, encouragement, and a little bit of Jesus in every episode. Hey, y'all, we're back. Today, we're going to be talking about fentanyl.
Again.
Right. Back in February of 2023, we did an episode. It was episode 2.
It was number 2.
On fentanyl. And specifically, we talked about, what is fentanyl? What are the dangers? What are the different types and forms it comes in? Mm-hmm. Where it comes from? Signs of overdose? And some rules that can save your life. And It was a lot of information, but it was information that we felt we needed to put out for our listeners.
Potentially life-saving.
Yes.
Stuff like that. So.
Exactly. So if you haven't listened to it, do so. It's full of, like I said, lots of useful information. Mm-hmm. So sadly, fentanyl overdose is not on a decline as we were hoping it would be.
Yeah.
It's worse. It's on an incline.
Mm-hmm.
And Milgram from the DEA, which is the Drug Enforcement Administration department, she says this: fentanyl is the single deadliest drug threat our nation has ever encountered. Fentanyl is everywhere, from large metropolitan areas to rural America. No community is safe from this poison. We must take every opportunity to spread the word to prevent fentanyl-related overdose, death, and poisonings from claiming scores of American lives every day. So in 2022, and I'm going to speak on Texas here because we are in Texas.
Residents, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So in 2022, Texas lost 2012 lives due to fentanyl overdose.
Jeez.
Yeah. Sad. And then in 2023, Governor Greg Abbott signed House Bill 3908 into play, and it does two things. It requires public schools to provide fentanyl awareness and abuse prevention to grades 6 through 12.
That's really important. So.
Yeah.
Because, think about high school. That's where peer pressuring happens. Try this, try that,
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff.
High school, middle school.
That too, which is, even sad. I know kids that, start doing drugs in middle school. And I was like, that's not good. So,
no.
But no, in high school, peer pressure is everywhere and stuff. And you don't know what you're getting into, Let's say one of your friends that you don't know too well has some, pills or whatever, with my phone, pills or whatever. And, you're thinking about trying them and it's fentanyl. That's a fatal mistake right there because you don't even know. So,
no, you have no idea.
And then the peer pressure on top of it. So. People need to be aware and know what this stuff is doing to America. So.
Yeah. That's the thing. Nobody would take it for taking it.
Yeah, literally.
But it's all coming through the cartels, and they're getting it from China, and they're producing these pills and tablets.
Exactly.
And the other thing that House Bill 3908 does, it provides all 254 counties in Texas. Okay, we're a big state, people.
Yeah, we are.
We're a big state.
A lot of counties.
Each county is supplied with 20,000 doses of Narcan.
That's good.
And if you don't know what Narcan is, it's it will reverse an opioid overdose. Mm-hmm. And it's like a nasal spray.
Yeah, you just put it in the nose and then spray it, and then usually
you hold one nostril because typically the person overdosing won't be able to do that. But
okay, and then it redoes or reduces the effects of an opiate.
Hopefully, if the person is lucky, right? And so most states are working on awareness campaigns like this. So praise God for that. That there's some work happening. Mm-hmm. And I think the one thing I just want to bring to everyone's attention, besides just fentanyl, maybe a lot of people have heard about fentanyl, but yet people are still dying from it.
Yeah, it's just cut pills and powders and stuff that you don't know.
Yeah.
So it's scary.
But anyway, so most recently, xylazine is being mixed with fentanyl. And so you might say, what is xylazine? And this is known as tranq. And it's a very powerful sedative that's been approved by the FDA for veterinarian use.
It's basically like a horse tranquilizer.
Yes.
So extremely strong.
Yeah, if you can tranquilize a horse, can you only imagine
what it does to a human?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
a horse is what, 3,000 pounds?
I don't know.
That. A human's what, 150 to 200 usually? I mean,
right.
You can imagine.
Not even some.
Yeah.
The DEA says that in 2023, approximately, get this, people, in 2023, they said that approximately 23% of fentanyl powder and 7% of fentanyl pills that they seized contained xylazine. So it's there, and it's going to be like when fentanyl first started. Mm-hmm. It was there and not too much of it.
Most people didn't know about it.
Yeah.
But then people that gotten used to fentanyl, and then, with drugs, you have a tolerance. Your tolerance builds, and then you need something else that's way stronger. Yo, I got some fentanyl mixed with horse tranquilizer. You want to try it? Sure. Right. What will it do? I don't know. Get you really high? Yeah. And, that's the addict's mind. And they're, at that point, if you're doing fentanyl or, hard drugs, you're willing to try anything at that point, I feel like. So.
Right. That's true.
You're so long gone. So.
I had seen on the news, they were doing showing what was going on in San Francisco. And
oh my gosh.
Literally, and they were talking about this tranq, and there were and a lot of them were homeless people and whatnot, but they're laying on the streets, and you can just see their skin. Oh, yeah. Your skin, it eats away.
It's called the zombie drug.
Yeah,
it's literally basically real life zombies because it eats away your skin and just rots away your flesh.
Yes.
So you'll have sores, and sometimes you'll have homeless people out there that need amputations because their leg is literally about to fall off.
Yeah.
All they care about is just smoking their fent, I guess. I don't know. So it's really sad.
So this is really big. This is huge.
Yeah.
This is not something we want to be messing with. And not, this is why we got to stay away from the pills, because we just don't know what's in them.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know where you're getting it from. You don't know who made them, who sourced them. There could be, multiple places that you get stuff from, and they could be passed on multiple times. I got this pill from this guy, and then I gave it to this guy. This guy gave it to that guy, and then that guy is going to sell it, Yeah. So it's like you don't know where it's coming from. You don't know who made that, who pressed that pill, what their intentions are.
Yeah.
Stay away from it.
Yeah.
So it's really scary. So.
Yeah, and I don't know what's happening with the federal government, but we have got to stop this coming into our country.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what means are being taken, but first, awareness is great and good.
But then action is more important.
We need action to stop it.
Yeah. It's getting crazy. So
yeah.
I've lost, I don't know. I didn't know them well, but I know 2 people from my high school that passed away from fentanyl. So at first, people were saying it wasn't fentanyl. He was doing, different drugs, stuff like that. But then it came out fentanyl. I was like, wow. So he didn't know. So
yeah.
He was 19. So I was like, wow.
So very sad.
Yeah, I know.
Life wasted. A life wasted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of that, the DEA at their headquarters, they have, it's called the Faces of Fentanyl Wall. And it's literally pictures of young people that have died of fentanyl that their parents have submitted and gave permission for that to be up
on the wall. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's really to commemorate the lives of those that we've lost to fentanyl. And had they been aware of the possible dangers of taking a pill from an unknown source, they might not be on that wall right now. It just takes that one pill.
And what's really sad is how it's on the incline. That walls or that that poster's getting bigger every day. So
yeah, go check it out on the DEA website. It's there.
And then I was explaining to Chase, my little brother, I was explaining to him what we're going to be talking about. And, I was telling him people are mixing horse tranquilizer or, vet tranquilizer with fentanyl. Chase was like, why would you do that? I was like, well, think about it. it gives a stronger high, and also it's very cheap to do. Like, let's say, like, you're a crappy drug dealer or whatever, and you want to save money and you don't care about people's lives. You get some Smarties, like the candy, you know, Smarties. You crush that up and you press it into a pill. If you eat that Smarties, it's not going to do anything, right? You add a little bit of fentanyl or horse tranquilizer, that thing is going to mess you up. So you can literally just like disguise drugs with that evil stuff and then sell it for profit. So it's a really sick and twisted way. And there has to be a harsher punishment for these type of dealers and people that are, I mean, killing people, essentially. So it's really sad.
Well, and, you know, they're doing it. Why would you do that? They do it for the money. And the other thing, too, is that there are countries that want to see our young people
go away,
eliminated.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's no lie. And I can't speak too big on that or what countries or why or, you know, any of that. But I have read that and I've heard about it.
I mean, so right now, 80% of, let's say, I don't know how much, but a large percentage of fentanyl, it's made in Chinese labs. And those Chinese laboratories, they have written contracts with certain cartels based in Mexico, right? So they, you know, you ship, 8 pounds of fentanyl, you get paid, $800,000, right? So you have a little deal going back and forth. The Mexican drug cartels, they then take the fentanyl, they can put it either into drugs or they just take it purely over the border. And what does our border look like right now? It's wide open. So it's so easy to just walk across with a backpack full of 10 pounds of fentanyl or, pills, or that you're saying is not fentanyl, but they're fentanyl. It's open access right now. So we have to put a stop to this because countless Americans are dying from this.
Well,
so many young people.
And it's being smuggled into in vehicles and,
but
all kinds of...
But it's so easy to do it right now because it's a wide open border.
Yes, our border is not protected.
It's not.
Yeah.
So 25 states have actually, signed up against our current presidential administration and saying, hey, enough is enough,
Right.
These migrants and these drugs, it's enough because so many people have just, passed away from this evil drug. So. And
President Biden has finally admitted that it is a problem.
Yeah.
And which he started by signing off, stop building the wall.
Exactly.
But anyways, we won't get into politics.
Right.
So, but also I want to just make a note. This indicates how important this is that the DEA has made August 21st, National Fentanyl Prevention and Awareness Day.
I told Chase that, and he literally was like, that is sad. And I was like, yeah.
It is sad.
That we have a day for people passing away of fentanyl, like remembering them. That we have a day for people passing away from a specific drug. Not, a disease that plagued, people. A certain drug. That's that's nasty. So. Yeah,
for sure. I wanted to talk a little bit, Greg, and I know this is big for you too, but what are the symptoms? What do they look like when someone is overdosing from fentanyl?
So me and my brother Chase, I mean, I've showed him videos of like how bad it's gotten in like Philadelphia, Detroit and stuff. And when most people are on hard drugs, fentanyl, tranquilizer stuff, they could stand possibly, but they're going to be like leaning over. And me and Chase have called it like the fentanyl. So
the fentanyl,
the fentanyl, basically, yeah.
So
like you'll be basically just like nodding off in broad daylight. You'll be standing
limp,
but then you'll be just hunched over, limp, completely limp. So falling asleep, unconsciousness. Because I mean, the thing is with fentanyl, I've seen like documentaries and stuff on YouTube, where addicts have gotten interviewed and stuff. They keep each other awake because if you fall asleep, fentanyl is so dangerous, your heartbeat slows down to where it just stops. So you want to literally, hey, wake up, They literally keep each other awake for that stuff. So that's how dangerous it is.
Wow, I got your back, right?
No, literally, they're like, hey, wake up. Because, they do. You don't want them to die. So that's how scary this stuff is. Small, tiny pupils.
Yeah. I think the weak or no breathing, that kind of ties into what you're saying
does,
about how it
yeah.
affects your
'Cause
heart.
it slows your heartbeat down so much.
Yeah.
Because it just relaxes all the neurons in your body.
And you can always tell by if you put your hand over someone's nose and
Oh,
mouth.
you can barely feel it,
You
probably.
you can feel how well someone's
They're
breathing.
barely holding on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the faintest pulse ever or whatever.
Yeah. I know, like gurgling sounds, too.
Some people call that the death rattle. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, limp body. Like, most people are just... Some people, like, you'll see on the streets that are just passed out.
Yeah.
Like,
but you were talking about it, too, when you said they just kind of lean over.
Yeah, they literally pass out and they're just standing hunched over.
Yeah.
It looks like they're, like, dead standing. I was like, whoa. So it's insane.
Yeah.
Cold or pale skin. Mm-hmm. I guess they turn white.
Right. But cold skin, you can feel yourself, and then compare.
They feel all clammy.
Yeah, that's definitely never a good sign, no matter what.
I mean, if you think about it, all that blood that was in your skin before, it's going to your heart because your heart's beating slower. It's working way harder to, keep blood into it. So that's probably what's happening.
Possibly.
Yeah.
And then I know discolored skin, especially like your lips and nails. Your lips getting discolored.
Like what color? Like white or whatever?
I would just go much lighter. Yeah.
Jeez.
But so let's just chat about.
I mean, thank God you can kind of recognize the symptoms, right?
Yeah.
If it was something to where you don't even know you're overdosing until it kills you, that'd be even worse. So.
Yeah. And you're not always going to know.
Yeah.
The person. I mean, you could be just at school and you see somebody do that and you don't even know the person. But if you,
I've been on. You remember when I went to downtown Austin when I was working on those like light fixtures and stuff? Mm-hmm. We were watching this. We were doing like window tinting and stuff. We were taking the tint off the windows. Me and my buddy, we went down to 7-Eleven, and there was this homeless guy, and he was absolute like rancid. He was on some hardcore drugs. But his brain was fried. He was like 65. Pants were down to his ankles, and then he had a blanket on. It was like mental health combined with drugs and stuff. But he was just going
dual
crazy
diagnosis
outside.
Is what
me and Nathaniel, we ignored him. And then we go back up to the building and stuff, and we can get a clear view of him from our, where we're working.
Oh, wow. You were on the what floor?
Like the 17th floor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're just watching him down below and stuff, and then he was like so messed up or something. He fell on the pavement or something, and then he literally just put the blanket over him and then just slept for like an hour, and then just walked up and then just started doing circles again, just repeating to himself.
Oh, that's so sad.
I know, exactly.
Wow.
So it's a mental health thing, and then it's a drug thing. So, and some people that stay out there, I mean, they want to be out there because I mean, it's freedom. So, especially in cities where you allow it. So, San Francisco, I've literally heard a woman addict. She was like, I can stay out here. I have a TV in my tent and I have a small grill behind my tent. All I do all day is pee, get high, and eat. And I was like, wow. And like, that's all life for them. That's all they want to do.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. So some people choose to be out there. Other people, they have a combination of mental health and a drug addiction, and they really can't get on a stable foot. But it's sad.
No, and a lot of them don't want to either. Even if there was a place, they do offer places for people to come and get help, and they choose not to because it's just a
different lifestyle.
Unknown.
It's a different
lifestyle.
Yeah, you're used to waking up at 6 a.m., lighting up that crack pipe, or doing something crazy, and then just doing nothing all day and scouring the city, hanging out with your friend, doing whatever. But the thing is, like, you can make someone go into a rehab center, but they want to do it themselves. They have to want it themselves.
Well, it's not that people don't want to. They can't.
Yeah.
I'm reading a book called Dopamine Nation, and people are addicted. And I'm not talking about just drugs and alcohol. And I want to do some topics on this because it is very interesting. I'm talking about anything that we get addicted to. Games. I mean, you call it what you want, but when you can't, it's an addiction. In your mind, the dopamine and the receptors in your mind become to the point where the pain overtakes the pleasure. I mean, it's just an interesting
topic.
phenomenon that people really need to hear about. And I'm talking young people too, that when you say addiction, people think drugs or alcohol.
It could be anything. It could be anything.
It's anything that you do repetitively, or maybe gets in the way of things that maybe you should be doing.
Right.
So there's a simple way to look at it.
Yeah.
But
so yeah, you're right. It's addicting, but also it's physically addicting, or it's physically demanding for them. Because think about opioid withdrawals. Apparently it's hell on earth. And a lot of homeless people, they know if they go to like a rehab center or something, they have to get clean.
Yeah.
And let's say you've been using hard drugs, pills or opiates or, whatever it is for 6 months on the streets. If you go into that shelter and you use nothing because it's restricted there, right? You can't get drugs. Your body's probably going to either shut down or just go through hell for like 5 days. Right. And most people, they know that because they're addicts, right? They've gone in and out of that cycle.
And you can't do that alone. You need to be in a place, a hospital, a detox center, whatever.
Yeah. So it's just it's such a different lifestyle. So.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's such a hard approach, but yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's wrap it up and finish with, what do you do if you see someone overdosing?
Yeah. Like you see this, you see all the symptoms, you get all the clues, all the signs, you're like, oh my goodness, this is happening. So, I mean, the first thing you do really, you stay calm. Okay. My dad always told me in situations where people are freaking out, you want to be the calmest one there because you'll know what to do. And you'll be able to think clearly and straight instead of other people who are just freaking out and mangling their thoughts and all that. Stay calm, control the situation. So that's the first thing you do. And then the second step, 911.
911.
Yeah. And then scream Narcan. Most people nowadays, they've heard of Narcan and stuff, and it's actually pretty readily available.
It is.
Most CVS pharmacies, other gas stations, if you're in New York where a lot of fentanyl does happen,
they're going to
bodegas, those sandwich shops. They have Narcan.
Yeah, they're in all the schools now.
Some people that are like nurses off duty, they like carry them in like their purse and stuff just in case.
Yeah. So it is. But and then you talked about this, Greg. Try to keep that person awake and breathing. Just don't let them go to sleep.
Hey, wake up! Just keep tapping them.
Just talk about whatever you can.
Yeah, literally. Look in my eyes. Hey, keep your eyes open. Look in my eyes. What's your name?
What day is it? Yeah. Can run through some of that. Right.
Because if they're talking, they're awake and they're breathing. Yeah. So.
And then turn the person on their side to prevent choking.
A lot of times, if you overdose, you'll throw up. And let's say you overdose, right? You're going to fall asleep, right? But then your body's going to throw up because it's rejecting that poison. If you're on your back and you throw up, you're going to choke on your own vomit. Yeah. So you have to be on your side. So turn them on their side if they're choking.
Well, just in general, turn them on their side. I would think. Same with seizures. Don't wait till they start choking.
Same with seizures. Because sometimes in seizures, people try to swallow their own tongue. Because that's like the body's natural instinct. So keep them on their side so they can't swallow their own tongue and the breathway is clear. So, yeah. And
then stay with the person until help gets there, until the paramedics.
Talk with them. I'm here for you.
Yeah. Just talk like you've never talked before.
Exactly, literally.
Some of you don't have a problem with that, and some do. So there you go.
But at this time, this person will literally thank you for saving their life, so it's like life or death. So just be as nice as you can and just be with them.
Yep.
So let them know that you're there for them.
Right.
I'm here, buddy. Wake up. They're on their way. Stuff like that. So
help us here. It's coming. Yeah.
You got lucky this time, buddy. Stuff like that.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, well, that's our show for today. I hope for
that's a lot of good info. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it was a good talk today, Greg. And
good update.
Good update.
Yeah.
What's gonna be our takeaway?
If you see Narcan,
what's your call to action?
Get a bottle of Narcan. Also, tell people about this new tranquilizer stuff.
Yes. Tell at least 2 people about Trank.
I'd say 80% of people, they know about fentanyl nowadays because it's, in the news, on your Instagram, all this stuff. But most people, they don't know that fentanyl is getting more scary. So I didn't even think it could get more scary, but it is.
Right.
So
who would have thought, right?
Who knew? Yeah.
So xylazine is the name of tranq, but it's how you spell it is XYLAZINE.
And in Spanish, it's called anesthesia de caballo. So that's the name for it.
Aren't you smart? All right, good job, Greg.
Yeah.
All right, so tell some people about tranq, and if you're wanting to know more about fentanyl or just curious about what we talked about, go back to episode number 2 back in February of 2023.
That breaks down fentanyl to itself, not tranq fentanyl,
Yeah,
just fentanyl. Down by itself, what to do if someone's ODing. Kind of similar, but it gives a lot of good details.
And just a lot of good information.
In general.
Good information in general. Yeah. So, all right. Well, wow. Thank you so much, Jesus, for this episode. It's been wonderful. You all remember that you are not alone. And we'll see you next time.
All right.